Hi everyone, welcome back. This is still 4.3. We're going to look at determining the angle measure given an equation that looks like this. It's the third video of T3. Okay, now here we are given sine theta is equal to 0.879. Now when there's no, so you want to look at this domain that they give you here. This means that your answer is going to be in radians, or you want your angle measure in radians. So here we're first going to look at the fact that, I said first a couple of times, didn't I? We're going to look at the fact that this number right here is positive. So we need to use the cast rule to tell us which quadrants we have a positive value. So in the first and the second quadrant, sine is positive. Now you're going to use your calculator to figure out that sine inverse of 0.879, always use the positive number even if you're given a negative number. So that's going to give you your theta. Your theta, your reference angle, in this case is 1.0737 ... Now don't erase this number, don't delete this number from your calculator, keep it in there. We need to now figure out quadrant 1, what the value is going to be. So here we have theta is equal to, well, here it's in quadrant 1, so we can just give that as our answer, 1.0737. And then for quadrant 2, we need to give our answer here. So do you remember the rules that we used before for reference angles? We're going to, if it's in quadrant 2, we subtract 180 degrees, but in this case it's pi. So we've got theta is equal to pi subtract the number that we got for our reference angle. All right, and that is 2.06783 ... You don't need to round these numbers. So this is your first answer, and this is your other answer for quadrant 2. So I'll write theta equals that. The second example here looks at same idea. Instead, our domain's given in degrees, so we should give our answer in degrees. Here we're given cos is negative, so which quadrant is cos negative? So we've got our cast rule that we can look at, and they're all positive here, so we're going to have cos being negative here and here. So this is in quadrant 2 and in 3. All right, so let's figure out what our reference angle is. So we're going to drop the fact that this is negative right now, and we're just going to use cos inverse and use the positive number. Okay, now that gives us a value of 68 degrees that we're going to use. And don't delete your calculator, leave this running decimal in there. We need to use that, and in quadrant 2, to get the actual value of theta that's there, we need to go 180 minus our reference angle. And here, for the third, we need to go 180 plus our reference angle. So for quadrant 2, our theta is going to be 180 minus 68.5308 ... And for quadrant 3, our theta is going to be 180 plus 68.5308 ... Okay, so the answers that we want to get are right here, 100.469 degrees. And for quadrant 3, we want theta to be 248.5306 or 086, sorry, degrees. All right. Okay, so you get the idea. You need to first figure out the reference angle, determine which quadrants it's positive or negative in, and then use the reference angle with the quadrant to determine the actual value of the angle measure that you need to find. Okay, so let's have a look at, this is the last example I'm going to do, or else it's just going to get too long. Now here, this is our we're in radians. So we need to determine the reference angle here. So sine x is just the angle here. If we were to figure out what value gives us negative a half, well, what value gives us a half? So that is going to be, so if we were to look at sine theta equals 1/2, we would end up getting theta equals pi by 6. So actually, you know what, I could call this XR because it's referring to our reference angle. So our pi by 6 is going to be our reference angle. And then you can do your sine is going to be negative here and here. So let's do our pi counting. So what is this going to be, right? So we need to go, this is going to be 6 pi by 6, and then we have one more 7 pi by 6. So one of our answers is going to be x is equal to 7 pi by 6 if you're counting your pi's. And then we have 8 pi by 6, right? And that lands us here. We want to end up in this quadrant. So that's going to be our angle that's right here. So see here, this is my reference angle that I'm talking about. So if this was pi by 6 as our reference angle going from here to here, and this is pi by 6 for our reference angle going from there to there. So my other one is going to be 11 pi by 6 because it's just pi by 6 short of 180. All right. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to hit pause and try these next 3 questions, and I will show you the answers after you hit the play button. Okay, welcome back. Now that you've tried these questions, the answer to D is x is equal to 180 degrees. And the answer to E is theta can be pi by 3 or negative 2 pi by 3. Now, the reason why I gave my answers in pi by 3 and rate in this is, well, because I just used the fact that the reference angle here is pi by 3. Okay. Now, for the last one, the answer is in the domain that I'm stating. So we have here negative 2 pi all the way to pi. So I can have negative pi by 6, negative 11 pi by 6, and pi by 6. Okay, so those are all your possibilities for theta. All right, well, I hope that went okay, and we'll see you soon.